Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at a backpack from VSGO. It's their 25-liter Black Sniper. So I've been using this backpack for about a month now, taking it through its paces, seeing how easy it is to get gear in and out, how comfortable it is, how much gear I can pack or different kinds of gear. And my general consensus is that it's a great backpack. It has a lot of nice features that I'll go over. And I would put this in the mid-tier to high-end type of backpack because it does retail for $259. And even at that price point, I think this competes very well and represents a pretty good value. All right, so let's start with the exterior, and I think it's a really good looking bag. I mean, I love this layered approach that they've taken, and then separating those layers with sort of this different texture or pattern here, and then they have a little logo here embossed, and then some nice red accents. So it's a good looking bag, and the material in the casing itself is a TPU coated, so it has sort of a semi-gloss shine to it, which makes it water resistant, weather resistant, and very easy to clean, as I found out. And also the TPU here, or I like to just call it vinyl, but it's relatively thick. I mean, much thicker than the typical budget bags that I normally buy. So I think it'll stand the test of time. Like I said, I've only had this a month, but it feels very durable and very well made. All right, now let's get into the features of this bag. Now on the exterior, we have two side pockets here and one thin pocket on the front. The side pockets are expandable to accommodate, tripods, light stands, whatever you need to put in here, water bottles. And then in front, we have another nice thin pocket here, which I like to use. You can put your cell phone in here, or, I like to put in my licenses and permits. So whenever I go on locations, I have those handy right here on the outside. And this also has a magnetic close clasp here so that it stays closed. The side pockets also have drain holes in them. So if you get caught like in a sustained rainstorm or something, water's not going to build up in here. It's going to drain out through the grommets here. So that's a nice little touch. Now these side pockets are also double-sided, so I can unzip this to get access inside if I do want to keep things dry. And we have two additional pockets here where I can keep, say, maybe my color card, some filter wrenches, and then anything right here that might be larger that doesn't go in the pocket. Now these pockets are not sealed or they don't have any clasp or anything. So when you open this, just be conscious that things don't slip out. And then on the other side, this is the side where you have access to the gear inside your bag. And again, this is also double-sided, so you can keep your filters here and maybe some cables or batteries, memory card. And then this gives you access to the gear inside. And we'll take a look at the inside in just a moment. I also want to note that there are straps on both sides of this bag for each pocket. So if I do want to carry, say, a tripod on this side and a light stand on this side, I can use these straps to secure them to the bag so that they don't fall out. And also the straps have an additional snapping buckle here so that once I make an adjustment to the strap, I can snap this and it's not going to slip or come loose. And then when I want to release the tripod or remove it quickly, I can just unbuckle it like this. So that's a really, really nice feature there. All right, now coming around to the front here, we have a unique feature called the Fidlock, and this is what secures the top flap to the bag and also allows for one-handed operation to open and close the top flap. So if I want to access the top part of this bag, all I have to do is twist this and open, and it opens very easily. And then to close it, you just kind of just push down on it, and then under my hand, what happens is it locks closed, and again, it's secure. Now on the left side here, this is actually secured just with a magnet, so it stays flush with the rest of the bag. Now, to be honest, this took a little getting used to. To turn this and open, of course, was very simple, but closing it, sometimes it wouldn't line up exactly right. And that really only happens when you sort of overstuff the top of this bag where, it doesn't close all the way down. So you have to kind of give it a little tug to kind of snap it in, and then it's fine. But otherwise, if you don't overstuff the top of this bag, it just snaps right in and everything's nice and secure. All right, now come around to the back of this bag. We have a really thick handle here. It's very well padded so that no matter how heavy your bag ends up being, it's going to be very easy to carry, and it's not going to sort of dig into the palm of your hands when you're carrying it. And then on the straps here, they're also very nicely padded here. And I like how they use the cloth material on this side versus, say, the vinyl or TPU on this side. So it's not going to dig into your chest as much. So it makes it more comfortable for long-term use. And then we have adjustable front straps here to make the experience even more secure. A lot of backpacks have this, but this is adjustable, and there's a pretty good range here as well. And you'll also notice on the strap we have additional hooks and loops that we can use to attach accessories and tools and things like that. Now, underneath all this, is the actual padding for your back here. It's a breathable mesh. It's also very thickly padded here as well, very comfortable. And then one of my most favorite things of this bag is actually this center handle here. Now this strap here is primarily for like when you're traveling and you would put your luggage, you would put your handles under here so that you can carry this on your roller bag. However, they made this strap very strong, very durable, extra thick with reinforced stitching here and here so that, again, no matter how much weight you put into this bag, you can securely carry this bag via this handle as well. And this makes it really easy, especially like taking it in and out of the back of my trunk of my car. Because, as a trunk will have a lip down here, but being able to just pick the bag up this way and take it out and carry it around this way is so much easier. All right, now let's look at the bottom of the bag, and I want to show you another one of my favorite features, and that is this has some rubberized feet on the bottom, finally. Now, even though the material here is the same TPU material that we have here, so it is waterproof, these rubber feet do two things. One, it does help keep the bottom of the bag drier if you were to happen to set this down into a small puddle, but also it makes the bag very, very stable when you stand it upright. This is one of the few backpacks that stand upright. So unless I push this past the center of gravity, and I have this bag pretty well stuffed right now, it's not going to fall over. So I really like that. Also on the bottom of the bag, we have additional loops here, here, and here. I lost the straps already, but they have hook straps that you can put here if you did want to, say, attach a tripod to the bottom of the bag. But generally, I wouldn't do that because then you wouldn't be able to stand it up like this, which is one of my favorite features, is how stable and secure and rigid this bag is when it's in an upright position. All right, so the last thing I want to show you before we go inside the bag is they do include these waist straps here that you can attach or detach. So if you're planning to do an all-day hike, these are very important in distributing the weight of the backpack to your hips, and it takes the weight off of your shoulders, because if you have this bag fully stuffed and you can fit quite a bit in here, your shoulders are going to get worn out because all of the weight is going to be distributed here and onto your chest. But adding these waist straps here, they help distribute the weight onto your hips. Now, this is not like a full-on hip weight distribution system like you find on much larger backpacks, but for all-day hikes, these are critical, and they hook right in here onto these three little loops here, and it's adjustable up and down like two positions so that you can adjust it to your body type. So let me show you a quick demonstration of that. So I'm just going to clip it here into the middle position here like this, and then snap it closed. So just a little pinch, and that goes right in. And then the other side, the same thing. All right, so nice and tight here. Now that took me a few minutes to kind of get it all set up and adjusted to my body, but now that I have it set up properly, a lot of the weight is being distributed here onto my hips and not onto my shoulders, so it makes it a lot easier to carry all day long if I'm going to be hiking and backpacking. All right, now to get inside the bag, you can do it a couple of ways. You can access it through the top via the Fidlock here and open the flap that I showed earlier, or you can unzip it to get full access to the entire bag all at once. And I want you to take a closer look at the zippers here. You can see that these are fully rubberized and sealed, so there's much more resistance to water and weather. And also these are YKK zippers, so they're basically top of the line. And they've also included sort of these mini locks here to help prevent, say, the casual thief that might be getting into your bag one-handed and trying to reach in and get something. With these, you can just simply clip these together like that. And now when they try to unzip your bag, it's going to get a hold here. And they'd have to use two hands to unlock this. And it's not just a simple unlock. It takes a little bit of effort. But once you get the hang of it, they come right apart, and then you can get full access to the bag. Okay, so this backpack opens from the rear. And then on the back here, we have an additional pouch here for up to 17-inch laptop with a magnetic clip here that helps keep the laptop from sliding out, say, when you open the flap and it's sort of tilted in a downward direction. Okay, and then once you have this fully open, you'll see there's a couple of zipper pouches here, or mesh pouches. So I put like a microfiber towel in here, and I put some cables up in here. And then to access your gear, you have to actually unzip it again. And this is also, just a little bit of padding in here. And there's an additional zipper pouch up here for more cables and accessories that you might want to put in here. All right, once you get inside, the bag is highly configurable. As you can see from these images here with a few examples of different types of gear that you might be carrying. I shoot primarily micro four thirds, so this bag is cavernous and too big, so I've actually added an additional camera insert, uh, that's separate. But once I take this out, you can see there's just so much room in here that, my tiny little cameras would just be all over the place. So, uh, I use a little insert in addition to that to carry my micro four thirds gear. So I have my OM3, a couple of lenses here. The OM3 also has the 12 to 40 attached. I have my flash trigger and filters, and I have my film camera here, my OM1, the Godox V1 flash here, and then I also have a full frame camera here. This is the Canon R8 with the 24 to 105, and that just fits nicely right in here. Now, over here is one of my favorite features is they have an adjustable ledge here. So you can remove this and have the entire space open for configuration, or you can attach it at two different levels. And there's some hooks here so that it stays in place. And then I've also used one of the dividers they provided to separate this open area from the rest of the bag. Because what I did was, and I'll show you later, is I put two dividers in here so I can carry additional camera lenses or whatever I want to put up here. Or you can leave it open and carry maybe a sweater or something, I don't know, your lunch, things like that up here. Now, before we go to the top of the bag, I just want to mention a few details here. There's additional thin padding in here. It's also nicely padded all along the sides of the bag and the bottom. The front here also has a nice thin layer of padding all along in the sides here. This first flap here is also a nice thin layer of padding in addition. So we'll seal that up. So this also gives it additional weather protection if for any reason a little water does end up seeping through the zipper. The laptop pouch here is also thinly padded here, and there's a nice thick padding here on the back in addition to the padding for your back. All right, so as I showed before, you can access this bag from the top. And if I didn't put the ledge in here, you could actually take a camera with a very long lens and access it directly from the top this way and pull it out. But I don't have any cameras that big. And once you're inside, you can see that with the ledge set up, I have some accessories over here like an LED light. And then over here, I have a little monitor and power bank, or I could substitute those with lenses if I want. And then here I have another camera body with a lens, my Pen F, and down here in the bottom, I have a little battery charger. And then I can just cinch it up like this to give it additional weather protection so that definitely after this flap is closed, no water is going to get in here either. All right, so far so good. This backpack has checked just about every single box and then some. Has some really nice features that I found that aren't available on every backpack of this size or even this price point. But that said, there are a couple of things that I think they could improve when they come out with their next version of this bag, and they're very, very minor. All right, so the first thing has to do with this front pocket here. Now, this bag didn't come with like a full rain cover like a lot of bags do, which is fine. It's pretty much sealed. You don't have to worry even, I think, in a sustained rainfall, because like I said, the side pockets here, even if they do collect water, you have a little grommet down here so that the water will drain as it's going in. However, the front pocket does not have that. So if you are in a sustained rain, there's potential for water to get in here and for anything in here to get wet. So, for example, like I like to put my parking permits and licenses in here, and if they're not like in a plastic baggie or something, they could get wet. So that's one. The other thing has to do with the strap. Now, they do give plenty of loops here to attach things, but I would have preferred, say, a metal D-ring or something here instead of just these nylon straps. So that's another thing. And it's like I said, these are very, very minor things. And then the last thing, now this is not a big deal for me because I don't like to access my gear from the side of the bag, but I think a lot of people would have appreciated if you had access to the inside of the bag from both sides rather than just the one side. And one little bonus that a lot of other reviewers seem to be pointing out is this little thing, this little tool they included. It looks like just a tag, but it's actually a flathead so that you can tighten up your Arca Swiss plates or what have you. anything that you normally would use a screwdriver for, it's included here. So I think VSGO has done a really good job here. I mean, it's a nice backpack. It's good looking, it's well made, has quality materials, and a ton of features. And at this price point, it kind of puts it in the mid-tier to premium backpack range, but I think it still offers a very good value, and I can highly recommend it. So with that said, I'd like to thank VSGO for sending this backpack out to me for review at no cost to myself, but I haven't been paid to do this review or sponsored, and as always, I try to give you my honest and fair opinion. Now, if you're not really a backpack person, you're more of a sort of want an everyday bag, stay tuned. Next week, I'm going to have a review on the VSGO 6-liter sling bag. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.